with a pleasant expression, laughing and licking the bloody sword. I said, "The rest of you start to jump. Cut them one by one, in a brutal and barbaric way. The scene in front of you makes the baby rabbit weak. The terror of collapse. These two are still. The soldier who prepared the cup was stopped. The blond man touched his body. Stop your name and say, 'Run away.' I risked my life to let you escape. Your face is panicked now. Her tears have been pouring out ever since. Run from the south and live." People start talking out loud to wake you up. Then you used all your courage. Strong every step of the way. Run to the south. The message is forever in your mind. Just left, she was in tears at the sacrifice of her teammates. Keep living. Don't keep running to save lives. To fulfill everyone's words. Late night view. It's a dark space. The red moon is broken between the yellow fields. Because they keep running. She kept muttering to the south. The more the south says, the more you keep running. Because it's where people lead. From where came an arrow. The rush made you unable to react. As soon as he turned around, the title rushed straight at her. The one we just shot was indeed a beast. Maybe running away from the city. These two bitches go hunting at night. Take it to another city and sell it. I just shot you. They're starting to sell you. Money is falling in the sky. Fools don't take it. The purple-haired guy has a rabbit tooth. Endlessly happy because it just happened to be a big trick. The sun was shining straight on VI's face. She slowly opened her eyes, her face white. This is where you sit up. Look at the 4 fields of ripe rice. It's like the forest you fled yesterday. In front is the Atlantic City. Don't worry, I've been listening. There's a place that sells animals recently. 2 hunters talking and riding. Find a place to sell to make money. They put her in a cage as a commodity. Let's take a detour. The fat guy can give you his opinion. I have fallen into the hands of the slave traders. I couldn't believe it after I was shot. It's a situation like this. Just escaped from slavery. Time, it's going to be a commodity for the traders. Now you're like a total wreck. Don't cry to the south. You start to remember your loved ones. These are the kinds of things people tell us about, like gentle smiles. There are people who die for me. Keep living. The most powerful thought in her mind rose. I must get out. Can't be sold to the nobles. She said she worried about the last tears. 2 hands grab the wood and prepare to go out. Take a detour. It took half a day. So let's speed it up. Come quickly before dark. Both of them are still talking. Without even noticing, my wallet is going. Then their chariot stumbled upon a stone. Make the car wobble. Hey, what's going on? Both of you don't know what happened. Dropped a piece of watermelon soaring from above to the ground. Then the horse is done. Out of the cage, out of the cage. It's all disjointed and chaotic. Because I fell out of control. She was in pain, but fortunately, 2 waves of wood broke. It's a hole. It can make you pass. The opportunity is here as a hope open to you. The ants quickly reached the rims of almost every piece of watermelon. The 2 men still haven't stood up. Still standing there arguing. People who are blind can't see such a big stone. It's waiting. They finally realized the biggest problem. Now look back and look at Dad around Kier. They saw VI running. Dead. That's the Atlantic border. I said, they shouted chase. Bring it back quickly. Don't let the bait lose your hand. That's when they started to pick up their weapons. Where are you running? If you are injured, you will not be able to run far. I just saw it, and now I've lost track of it. Both men stood looking from the side. She sat shivering and hugging her body. The more you think, the more you shake. I'm afraid they'll catch you and sell you. The Kier are still searching. There's blood on this side. She was startled with fear and trembling heart. No, I have to run. She started to push her hands up and walk away. Before they could get far, the Kier. He even wants to hide. Your heart is strangled. The eyes have no hope. Desperation leads to embrace her. Red hair and blue hair rabbit teeth look VI. Asian cunning smile. A short fat guy and a skinny tall guy is cornering the injured animal girl into a dead end. They want to catch you and sell you. The fat man with the red beard tried to grab her. Let us see where you run. Name tall, skinny toothed bunny, standing smug, laughing sly. The weak little girl couldn't resist. I only know please. Don't save lives. Suddenly, a voice came from behind to stop. Both the retards turned their heads, looking back as if you can't see it. The boy frowned. The boy rolled his eyes and the thin-toothed rabbit spoke loudly. Who dares to ruin your good? That's the question I asked. A powerful voice. No one else is to save the wind, the owner of the Atlantic. My Na and Eli warriors appear. Who are you doing here? The wind's voice became steeper. The two disabled Kier. When we see the great crowd, we turn aside. They think silently. I think this guy is a big character. We can't make it. You're not from the Atlantic. Dare to play this game when the owner goes to inspect. It turns out that the pen man also went with the exile. To observe the people. The old man stood out criticizing. Fat guy with red beard whispers to the blue-haired rabbit tooth. Hey, he seems to be the owner of the Atlantic. The rabbit asked if it was him. African animals are now cowering in fear. You look beautiful. He is a noble, but next to him. The girl with the bunny ears, her face smudged. Teary eyes are trembling with fear. That looks pathetic. Ellie, standing next to him, suddenly spoke up. They seem to be in the animal trade. You know what to do. How can the beast dared to talk like that to the nobles? Blue hair named Rabbit Teeth. I saw Eli talking to the bandit. He was very surprised. He looked at the two animal girls, next to the owner of the Atlantic. Then he thought, haha, although I heard Atlantic City banned the animal trade, but Ra is also a normal noble. I'm passionate about animals. He thought so and laughed. Lord, you are wrong. We caught not people. It's just an inferior animal. He thinks so. They can be silenced for their actions. It took 5 seconds for Na and Ellie to stand up. And the rabbit tooth didn't expect what he said. I thought I could escape the crime. It's the explosive that detonated 2 bombs next to the wind. He's got the number. Darling A and Eli face discoloration. 2 girls run into the crooks. Give them a fight. You know what low is. Don't spare your life. They cry out bitterly. The procedure is painful because of the injury. Just thinking about how to escape. You think you have to escape now. Can no longer fall into the hands of nobles. She bit her teeth and tried to get up. Rustling under the thick grass. Baby now found the ticket panting autumn. Found it, young man. The animals here are good to bring back. Cause now my eyes are blurry because of the pain. By the ear of the speaker. That SAO can't resist. You only know how to pray. Then everything went dark. Back to the castle in the small room because he was taken to a comfortable bed. Ellie and the old pen man stood around. Girl Viasia breathes hard and moans painfully weak. Old man doll is putting medicine on her wound. Intense facial tone. The old man reported a deep wound. The blood doesn't stop. I can't save it. Na and Ellie were very sad to hear that the old man. Ellie took the Mexican hand and screeched, saw what to do. Mexican girl, save her. But Mexico just shook its head. At this time, the wind speaks. There is no way. This wound just needs to be stitched with a needle. Save Fang and surprised everyone around you. They asked back together. So the needle. And to answer their questions. The wind appeared in a suit that heterosexual people have never seen. He's wearing a surgeon's outfit, also known as blue hat and mask, and wear the surgical gloves of the globe. Mexican Ellie Nico, La and the old doll, all very curious, with the suit that Liu Feng is wearing. What hands are you touching? When you see everyone standing there. The order is naive. What are you doing? Quickly use fire to heat Kim to detoxify. All in one voice, yes. A moment later. Take off your bloody gloves. Into the surgical tray. There are also knives and clips inside. All the surgical instruments are reserved for use when dealing with the wound for the African girl. A large piece of gauze was bandaged on the right girl's shoulder. Liu Feng stitched up the wound and stopped the bleeding for the girl. The pen man came closer to examine the wound. The old man exclaimed, "That's good, the blood stopped. I'm talking now. Give her 2 burn pills to prevent burn wounds. He's acting like a doctor. Make the girl is babe na." Ellie and Nico la open mouth. I was amazed at his medical level. I can't believe Master Cao Min is like that. The African girl's parents are drowning in a dream. She called Dad and Mom. When you open your eyes, I found myself trapped in a dark room. A shadow appeared. The man approached VI and pressed close to the girl. In a dream, this person's face is very similar to the wind. The tied girl can't resist. Just silently screaming in the subconscious, "Don't come over here." Perhaps it was because of his hatred of nobles that he met them for the first time. She had gone into the poor girl's nightmare. She startled and yelled no and sat up. The girl wakes up. I found myself in a clean bed. The warm white sea legs. "It's a dream," the girl said. "It's just a dream." She looked out the window. The young birds are chirping. Look around the room. The candles haven't gone out yet. The fire burned 6 chisels. Extremely quiet space, pleasant and refreshing. The blossoms. Purple heart bridge as adorn make the room more vibrant. Where is this, you wonder? The girl sitting on the bed, looking out the window. It's poetic outside. You wake up and someone speaks. She turned her head and screamed. It's because you're looking at Mexico with fear in your eyes. Auntie, don't come over here. Can noble Sao be kind? Vaya screamed for a while. His hands fluttered and he didn't want Mexico anywhere near him. Suddenly, me now holding hands, Vaya holding back. Pull the profane girl down too. Reveal the wound. The wound is clean. But don't move too hard. I can't wait to see that, America calmly said. Vaya is calm now, she whispered. I want to see my wounds. My now walked out of bed and turned her head away. Okay, you're not okay. But the baby came back to remind me. I will not let you speak ill of the young master again. She became silent and suddenly started crying. Hoo, you let me go, I want to go south. I don't want to be here as a slave, hoo. My parents are afraid. Look, Vaya crying. In my mind there was a picture of me at that time. They are also afraid and weak. My now tight lips. Stop crying. No one's making you a slave. Eli at the door. One hand carrying tray. One hand against the edge. Loud voice with African girl. You are free. An affirmation as sure as Eli's nails. To make the girl bewildered. Don't be afraid, Eli continued. Master has banned the animal trade here. We can say that this is a land of peace for animals. Outside the castle, it's a flock of white pigeons flying. Free to fly in the clear sky. The neighborhoods are connected. Luxury Kang Trang houses. High-rise buildings close together. The Atlantic City is now extremely rich. To develop prosperity and prosperity. Missing GIA. My sister and I are drinking tea in the room. Ellie brought the beast girl and introduced Theo. This is the African animal. The girl was changed into a clean outfit. Neat and neat. Liu Fang smiled happily called. Come sit down and eat. Don't be afraid to sit down. Ellie quickly pulled the ticket and sat down on the chair. Because in your eyes you're still afraid. It's amazing who can eat real food. Mina raised her tea to drink. It seems to remind me to be careful about the girls. Then a beautiful girl appeared. You can behave that way. Or don't blame me. That's kind of Mexican. Remember to smile and say, V. I can't finish the sentence yet. Just mention the name V. The girl quickly stood up. Maybe they've been forced into slavery and discriminated against for too long. It's ingrained in the girl's subconscious. It's not easy to change to adapt to reality. For being so afraid and worried, I spilled a cup of tea on the table. At this time, the girl is desperate. I've dirtied the noble's table. I've dirtied the noble's table. She muttered, he must be angry. And then make me do this, and then this. Then I'd rather die, Theo. Then he's blah. Because AI deduces enough things before returning to reality. I'm sorry, I'll clean it right away. She said the human girl took off her shirt. I'm going to clean the table with it. Ellie was shocked to see that and poured tea out. Dear two, come quickly and raise your hand to cover your eyes. It's a very funny scene. At this time, Nicola pushed the food cart up. The big knife girl is here. Finished with your head up. I saw the human girl in action. Nicola is about to take off his shirt. Loud shout. Why not dress properly? Then press the girl down on the chair. Sorry, I just wanted to clean the table. Say Feng encouragement girl. Why is your wound healed? Thanks a lot, Eli said he saved me. The girl remembered what Eli had said. Via slowly raised her head. Look at the wind and speak boldly. Thank you. Kier sighed. Nico brings Tet beef plate closer to the wind. Even the look from the window on the ticket. You smile invited. Young master eat. Although outside the mouth happily smile, and Nico was very restless in his heart. I hate to have another opponent, Nico worried. Tet plate from Te Nicola and replied. And then the meal begins. Because you know how to use a fork. Don't know. Eli told me to teach. African bestiality girl. He put a piece of beef in his mouth. Tears came out of my eyes. You've never eaten anything so delicious. This is food in heaven. You've been busy training wolves lately. Should eat a lot. He said and rubbed his head. When you see it, there is a contradiction in your heart. Doubt or trust. Maybe it's actually in their words. Really different from the noble Kier Sao. At the wharf of the Atlantic, the waves crashed and the boats were rushing back and forth. The birds soaring in the sky. On the boat there was a conversation. Back and forth transport, unloading the noisy containers. Dragon boat, heading towards the Atlantic gate. The two people standing on the bow of the boat were chatting. I heard that the Atlantic city has built a new river. Someone who is not bad. Something is certain. It's not that Master Yu Yang wants to correct us. They sent us here. The Kier replied, don't talk nonsense. Just deliver the documents to the special agent CA. The task is not difficult. The one who said that is the messenger of the city. Standard private street aristocrats. And the one who goes with him is a private slave. The two of them are serving Lord Yang's orders. Dragon boat carrying documents to Cho CA Special, the owner of the Atlantic. They still think that, since CA died at the hands of Mexico. Once a knight, now he's a bureaucrat. The slave continues to speak. It's because you're too honest. So I won't see you again. In a few days, it will be my wedding day. Then, this time he dropped the sentence. The messenger does not answer the slave. Just silently look away. Boat docked. The wind blows through the wind sails and the wind booms. The messenger and the slave stepped into the boat. There were 3 or 4 charioteers on the shore. Hello, do you need a ride outside? Someone gets out of the car. The private messenger greeted the guests. He even came to take on the role of the messenger of the communal canoe voice. Go. Always comfortable. My son saw these people. Doesn't follow the rules. Hurry to speak up. Hey, you do something. Your Highness is a noble. If you say that, this man must be slashed. Reduce your mouth. As if he didn't, he jumped and laughed louder. And he raised his hand and said in a hauling voice, extremely skillful. The more nobles should ride in my car. The wheels are long and wide and round. Moreover, he suddenly stopped and came close to the messenger's ear. Like other drivers, I only took 5, and I only took 3. What 3 robber? A private road slave shouted loudly. The driver hurried to explain no. Master has misunderstood. It's a new invention of the owner. He pulled out a silver coin. He pointed at it excitedly. Normal 1 can be changed to 10. Everybody likes it. Right now, the messenger and the slaves were surprised to understand. The price is the same as the NDTO here we go to people. The slave told the driver, I drove the car for an hour, and get them in the control car and let the horse run. The wheelchair, all along the road leading to the city, with the driver's voice. Kai Akai A. The Lord's messenger sat in the car. Look at the currency of the Atlantic. He looked at every detail and praised. It's a very powerful fabrication technique. Lord, look. The two of them went to the gate. Dishonored look around. The streets are crowded with people, the shops, the centers of commercial activity. Laughter was everywhere. The Atlantic City is also magnificent, then enumerating code into even more. The two of them talk to each other. Don't look at the goal. The lines of architecture, the people in your life aesthetically. The architecture is so beautiful, people are so happy. What kind of person is CA after all? Really just a noble oppressing SAO people. The dangerous castle, white Russian tears glistening under the sun. Become the master. I'm Tai En from the city of paralysis. Private road messenger and private road slave bow before the exile, the owner of the Atlantic. I've heard that you're from the city of horses. Hurry up first. Be careful warning the wind. Who went from a cripple to a careful young master. The messenger of the city heard the bull. It feels a little strange. It's not CA, it's the people of the United States, Baron SAO. Why are you warning me? The Thai ambassador said respectfully. Don't get me wrong. I am Theo, the commandant of the Baroness, to give you an important secret. Save it now or for an hour. Then, merchant and exile back to the desk. Open the function. The two men of the city stood silently watching. Save Fang, after seeing the jaw face from numb to sent to, whispered in my stomach. Watch out, we sent fake intelligence. The code worked. They really think. CA special robbing the Atlantic City. Then, give it to the two of you. Give it to me. Suddenly, the exile threw the item on the ground, the platform, and then tell to people from the city. You two take a look at what the password says. The Thai messenger rushed to pick up the honey jaw. The slave called Theo. Porcelain facial expressions turned into faces. After reading every word in the code. North wind siege plan. Stand up right now. Point your hand towards the big thatch. Your mother is noble. Because Kim disguised himself as a bandit and robbed a village. Currently, again want to shake hands with the special CA destroy the northern city. Here the Thai is still confused with the jaw. I don't know how to explain it. The private road worker rushed too. I told you the hippie Baron Kier is no good. Master, he deliberately sent you here to kill a man. Sir, come on, I'm here to help you stop it. If there is a future life, I will be a horse. The private sector said for a while. He ran back to stand in front of the inn. A loyalty to him. Such a person also has air. The loyalty of a real gentleman. Admirable. But it's also funny. Because the wind is not that kind of person. You've made me a bad person. Save Feng think. A moment later, the woman stood up and looked at him and said, See, you're not special. The owner of the Atlantic Ocean to save the goods, really. He introduced himself in a funny way. If so, it's hard to avoid death. The messenger of the horse spoke. But I have something to ask you. He bowed before the exile. Respectfully, then say, Please bring your intelligence to the north. Prepare a defense plan soon. Avoid a rain of blood for the people. To listen to the messenger of the city. It becomes silent. I ordered the two of them down first. The two of you don't look like bad people. Ares' speech. You gave me a great gift, he replied. Do I need to inform you about the city? Of course, there is. Good fit. Our new port also needs some big boats. Hee hee. Save the Wind gripped the honey jaw in the hand, laughing to himself. On the North River. The boats have landed by the river. The waves crashed against the side of the boat. The birds soaring high. Sometimes I fall into the water. The people are hurrying to load the boxes. Down from the boat. Outside the port are bright red tiled houses. Close together, the living place of the people of the north. What is not checked out suddenly, there is a loud shout. The roar came out of the magnificent room. It is beautifully decorated. Sitting in a red velvet upholstered chair. It's surrounded by gold. A person who is wearing noble clothes. Blue outerwear fleece. He has short hair. Long beard tidy up the mustache. Fat body. In his hand is a model of a boat. It seems that he is the owner of the northern city. In front of the table, in front of him was a man in uniform. One hand in front of the chest, in a sincere manner, he is reporting to the noble lord. Subordinates suspect the bandits attacked and the North Wind City really existed. SAO. They're like smoke. Some are also not seen. I don't know about the noble Kier. I really care about the information. This man, he said no, his hands are hard, hugging the boat model. He thought,